test, test. Okay. Test, 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 test.
Welcome, everybody, to the Rye Town Council meeting of May 15th, 2025. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Heavenly Father, bless this assemblage. Grant us the wisdom to make every decision fair-minded and the best interest for all its residents. Amen.
Oh, please call the roll.
Councilperson Jill Axelrod.
Present.
Councilperson Randy Sellier.
Present.
Councilperson Pam Jaffe.
Present.
Councilperson, oh my goodness, I was going to call you Frank. Thomas Nardi, his father, and Supervisor Gary Zuckerman.
Present. First item of business is adopting the minutes from April 17th. If no corrections or additions, may I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Our first item tonight is a presentation from Mark Pellegrini, Eagle Scout candidate. Mark, the floor is yours. Welcome. And don't be nervous.
Hi, thank you for having me. So basically, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my Eagle Scout project and why it's important to me. So every year, me and my troop would go down to Greenwood Union Cemetery around Memorial Day, and we would do a flag replacement, but we'd only get around 200 flags, and we would never really even cross the brook. So there was tons and tons of veterans that were not getting flags, and we would be doing the same section over and over. When it really was like this, it was really more like this. So my plan was to figure out where all the veterans were, locate them, and try to find out a way to make sure we're not just doing the same thing over and over each year. So first, I had to collect all the names with over 29,000 people buried at Greenwood Union Cemetery. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. I first started down by Rye City Hall. I started by taking pictures of the names on that wall of all the Rye veterans, and I would go around to Portchester, Rybrook, and Harrison and do the same thing as well at their veteran memorials. I got a small list from Greenwood Union Cemetery, but it was outdated, and there was a lot of people who were not put there as a veteran because their family did not say they were a veteran. Where am I? Okay, here we are. So once I had my names, I had thousands and thousands of veterans' names. Now I had to find out who was buried in Greenwood Union Cemetery. And I had to find out who was still alive or who passed. So I would go checking off names, like if they're alive or if they passed or if they're Greenwood Union Cemetery or if they're somewhere else. And it was really important to find if they were somewhere else because there is a lot of different cemeteries, and some were buried in Greenwood Union Cemetery and some were buried in like Portchester, and some were buried far away in like Germany. So one by one, I researched each name. I was surprised to find out how young some of them were. I was shocked to read an article about 3 young soldiers who were shot and killed in their tent by their 4th tent mate, and how so many were buried at Greenwood Union Cemetery and some were far away. Where am I? All right. I quickly realized that a lot of the names in my original veterans list were not buried at Greenwood Union Cemetery. This is the one I got from Rye. And we're not all local residents, so some have lived in New York City and other areas of Westchester. Some came from different parts of New York State, and some came from different parts of the country. But it doesn't matter because they all have one thing in common, and it's that they served our country and they were all veterans. My goal was to find as many as I could, and I hopefully found all of them that were buried at Greenwood Union Cemetery. So by list, I researched through each name of each of our local vets buried at Westchester, whether it be at St. Mary's in Portchester, or all around the place. Okay, So I then found over 2,000 at Greenwood Union Cemetery, which is a lot of people. Now the next thing I had to do was take my master list of names and go through each and every map at Greenwood Union Cemetery and highlight each and every name so they would be able to be easily located by the volunteers. By their neighborhoods. Some of the neighborhoods are Beachmont, there's A Acre, there's Ramon, all different kinds of neighborhoods or the sections, and they all have different plots. They're all orientated, very weird, but I figured it out, and I created a spreadsheet which had all the neighborhoods at Greenwood Union Cemetery. I sorted each veteran by neighborhoods and their plot number. This way, for people who are going to help me volunteer and place the flags, they could start by the lowest number and then count their way up and find the next person and the next person and the next person. I recently put out stakes by the starting points, if you will. So when they arrive, they'll be met with their instructors. Their instructors will explain it a little bit more. I also made tons and tons of extra copies, so in the folders it'll have all their sections that they need to do. Yeah, and I have a master list, and I'm making a couple other master lists, one for American Legion and one for Greenwood Union Cemetery. So, like I said, the system works by so the book is meant for Greenwood Union. So when we do the flag replacement next year, we can start at, say, A Acre, do A, and if we have extra flags, we can do B as well. Then we take it, put it right at the bottom, so the next one will be up, so we'll be constantly rotating throughout the cemetery, so everyone will get new flags each year. Yeah. And we're going to start in alphabetical order: A, Acre, Engelmont, to B, Brookside, Beachmont, so on, so on, so on. And each year, try to get as many as we can do until we run out of flags, then take them all, put them at the bottom, and rotate. Depending on the amount of flags we have each year, it would take a couple years to get back to Section A, but we'll be able to honor all the veterans and make sure nobody is left out, nobody is lost. So my main project, the biggest part of the project now, is this Saturday I'm hosting at the Greenwood Union Cemetery a mass flag replacement. I've collected over 2,000 flags. I got a grant from the fire department, and they gave me money to buy more flags. I also had donations of flags, and we're gonna go on Saturday, and with a couple of volunteers that I have from the school, from Rye Moms, all over the place, Rye residents, friends, family, American Legion as well. We're gonna put all the flags on all the veterans' graves. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mark, that is a very impressive project. Thank you. Very complicated. You can obviously see how much work that you've put into this, and to get so many people involved is terrific. And congratulations to your parents. Very, very nicely done, Mother. And by the way, I see you taking pictures. This is all being photographed, so I'm sure you can get the official video of it as well. So thank you very, very much.
I just want to say congratulations. It makes me a little emotional because if I do the math right, about 56 or 57 years ago, I did an Eagle Scout project. And it is, your project dwarfs what I did in terms of the effort, and it's incredibly impressive. And you will remember this the rest of your life. It's something that you will always be proud of. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Mark, the
scope of what you did was awesome. I mean, the amount of work, like you said, to remember and never forget 2,000 veterans who did so much for this country, and somewhere they're seeing that you did so much for them. So as a daughter and sister of veteran, I thank you. I think we all thank you. This project is going to reach a lot of hearts. So amazing work.
Thank you so much.
And I was involved with scouting as assistant scoutmaster for many years, and I believe it's 21 merit badges you had to get to up to this point, isn't
I
it?
believe it's more now.
It's
because
more now?
there's a couple extra
It's a
ones.
lot easier than the old days.
I should have brought my sash. I have
Yeah.
almost 50 now, right?
Well,
Yeah, I have around 50 merit
Yeah, because
badges.
back in the day, it used to be 21 merit badges just to get up to where you are now. And if it's more, that's all very impressive because it's a lot of work and you put a lot of time and effort into what you're doing. And I congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
I just want to echo, of course, all of those sentiments. You really should feel proud of yourself and proud of your selflessness in doing a huge undertaking that will benefit so many people. It touches my heart. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's really heartening to see young people who care about veterans and, take their time. I am sure as a young person you have so much to do, and I can't imagine the amount of time and care you had to put into this. So again, we're all grateful. It's incredibly impressive, and thank you so much. Best of luck to you with everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
So if there are people who want to volunteer on Saturday, what time and where do they go?
I have a couple flyers actually. I'll pull one out real quick. These I put all around my school. It has a little QR code for the Sign Up Genius. It's 1 hour time slots, but you can sign up for more. It's 1 hour. It's from 1 to 5. You can pick 1 to 2 or like 1 to 3, whichever you can do. If anybody would like to volunteer, we always do need a little bit more volunteers, and the QR code for it is right on here.
Okay, I don't know if that's going to show up on the screen, but hold it up for a minute. And then please drop off a flyer with Ruby on your way, and we'll make sure to, if we can help you get the word out, we certainly will do that.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Can I say something?
Sure, of course.
On behalf of the town of Rye, we're grateful that you researched the Belmont section of the cemetery where the town provided graves for veterans that could not afford burial places. And also we have Nick's as well. So thank you for identifying the veterans that are placed there, and now they'll have a flag on their grave as well. Thank you.
I have to say,
Yeah, Beachmont.
She was the one who told about where they were. So Hope actually helped by telling him, all these people, and that's one section.
that's because Hope knows everything.
When in doubt, Hope played a vital role.
Says, you know, I thought I knew every piece of property in the town of Rye. This is all new to me. That section that you're doing, this is something I didn't know about. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, where do you want me to leave these again?
You can hand them to me.
We could maybe put it on our website or text my gov, stuff like that.
Social media. He needs about
You have
60
to
more
do it
people.
quick.
He's got 100.
What time are you starting?
First one's going out at 1, the last little group will go out at 5. So anytime between them.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Very
inviting me.
much appreciated.
Nice to see you, Warren.
Thank you so much, guys.
And did you say where they could find you at Greenwood Union? At the,
So going into Greenwood Union, there's a main entrance. You're just gonna go past the main entrance. There's gonna be one that says like "Do not enter." Go past that one. There's another road right there. It's in front of, what's the road called again? Glendale. It's across from Glendale. There's a lot more parking that way, so we're going in through there.
okay.
Yeah. There'll be
signs?
Yeah, there'll be signs. We'll probably put a scout out there as well, so you can see. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next presentation is from the Sustainability Committee about our community cleanup event. Brian, you're up.
Hi, sorry about that. No, unfortunately, I can't make it on Friday, this Saturday. But no, I was just saying, you know, the Portchester Library, we have a big bookshelf dedicated to local history. So I was thinking, you know, a copy of his work might be a good fit there.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank
So.
you, Brian.
There you go. Okay, I can just. All right. So yes, we're almost 2 weeks out from our 2025 spring cleanup.
Debbie, continue. I
Yep.
got it.
We had 4 sites this time around. Downtown Portchester, which is a mainstay for our spring cleanup. This time, partnering with the City of Rye, they did the Rye Nature Center. And then for Rybrook and Ryeneck, also our mainstays of the Anthony J. Pasilipo Community Center and along the Mamaroneck River. So we had 16 sponsors this time around and a little over 40 volunteers. It's hard to be exactly sure because we didn't get photos from one of the sites. But we got a decent amount of trash off of the roads of Portchester. Councilperson Jaffe, I believe you can attest to how much was taken from Ryeneck. from along the
I
Mamaroneck
mean,
River.
I was with a few volunteers down in Ryeneck, and it was just amazing that by the river, some of the oddities you would
Yeah.
find. So, I mean, there was just pizza boxes thrown into the river, and I was just like, what are people doing?
Yeah.
But I would say we got about, probably not as much as the other sites because it's a contained space, but there had to be at least like 8 bags of garbage taken away.
Yeah.
And like I
So-
said, some odd objects. The pizza boxes weren't the oddest of the
Yeah.
objects, but
I don't want to go into what the oddest objects we found in Portchester were. But, yeah, so in Portchester, we had 16 volunteers. There's a picture of all of us there. We were lucky enough to get a few members of the Board of Trustees to come out. We had sponsorships from the Capitol Theater and from the Colony Grill, as we have in the past couple of years. So we always appreciate, you know, the help that they provide us and them for being active in our community. We cleaned up a large area of downtown Portchester, ranging from a block, I was gonna say south, but a block east of the library, down to the waterfront, and then south past the Clay Arts Center toward Village Hall, and north up to the bridge that connects us with Byram. So we, you know, we all covered a pretty large area. The City of Rye, like I mentioned earlier, they cleaned up the Rye Nature Center, and they planted annual flowers there, and similar. So thank you very much to Tracy Stora for running that site. And then for Ryeneck and Rybrook, our 2 smaller sites that we always try to get people to. Clearly my estimate of bags of garbage taken was very low. Thank you. Thank you, Pam. But yeah, so Ryeneck is great. The cleanup along the Mamaroneck River is very important because it drains out into the Long Island Sound. And at the planting that goes on at the community center, I know is very appreciated by the people who go there regularly. So for Ryeneck, we had Christy Young in charge, and for Rybrook, we had Greg Rivera. So thank you very much to both of you. And yeah.
That last picture had Hope and Ruby.
Did it? Oh, there you are. I didn't know who it was. There you go. That's great. That's great. Yeah, so Similarly to last year, we started our recruitment push pretty early, and we, ramped it up as we got closer to the day of. In Portchester in particular, we got help from the Capitol Theater to recruit some people, and they incentivized their participants, I'll say. I said a special thanks to Trustee Nalagwari in Portchester, because she was able to bring along a group of high schoolers who were very happy to get some community service hours. And as Supervisor Zuckerman mentioned last time about the weather, I couldn't guarantee it, but it did hold out for us, which it was a little shaky for a while there. But we had a beautiful day, as you can see from this photo right here. And then as for, our problems, we didn't get as many signups as last spring, which I view as a disappointment. And outside of the volunteers that Trustee Nalagwari was able to bring along with her, we're not getting too many teenagers involved, which is, they're the most able to get into small places to pick up garbage. So it's nice to have them along, and it's good to get people involved early about, with caring about the community. And then as far as looking forward, this is a picture from last year just because I love it so much. I think we're going to have to think about ways to further incentivize people to participate. And just as an appeal to anybody who's watching this, please come to our fall cleanup. We need everybody's help that we can get. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, do you have a date set already for this fall?
We don't have one, but I'll be back to bother everybody with it toward the end of the summer.
Wondering, do you know if the local high schools have their own like sustainability club?
They do, and I reach out to them, but
Direct.
yeah.
I was just thinking people who are predisposed to
I know,
want to help
yeah,
in that
you'd
area
hope.
might be a good resource there.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the big reason we started this was that parents are reaching out saying our kids need community service hours.
Right.
So then we mobilized the community around that, thinking this would be a great service for everyone.
Right.
So I think a brainstorming session,
Yeah, I think part of it could be that, I remember when I had to do community service back in high school, and I didn't go to the local schools, but I had to do like 40 hours. So if it's just 2 hours twice a year, it's not that much.
Right.
So maybe expanding it, or,
Did you reach out to Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts?
yes.
Or is it Scouts now,
Yes.
I should say? Because they have to do their community service too
Mhm.
for certain badges
Yeah.
and stuff, and classes as well.
Yeah, I reached out, nobody bit, basically,
Nobody
is
bit.
what I'm getting. But, yeah, so we have another topic of conversation here.
Dude, just one comment. I
Yes.
want to say I was really impressed with something you did, which is we pulled away from doing Crawford as a site, because
Mhm.
Crawford always pulls away from Rhinebeck and the other places. And I loved that you had where I'm needed most. And you had a ton of people sign up that you
Yeah.
assigned the day before
Mhm.
to where they were needed
Yeah.
most. So I thought that was a really positive and good change.
Thank you.
And it showed that people do want to help
Mhm.
and can be directed.
Yeah, and I think one of the good things about that is, you give people the, the feeling of being a hero, like, put up the bad signal and I'll go to the spot that needs me most. But, yeah, so next event, we've got EcoFest on June 8th, right here at Crawford Park. So it's gonna be a great big fair. We've got lots of tabling partners lined up. We're gonna have all sorts of different, like 1 or 2 time in the day events, so it's a good day to come along and stick around. It's gonna be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we have things as varied as seed bombs from the Clay Arts Center to a hybrid bus from the county that people can, take a look at and hear some more about. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I hope that we'll see you there.
Did you think about putting a time on the flyer?
Yes, I did.
I'm putting it in my calendar right now.
Great. Yeah, so I'll say it again, June 8th, which is Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's right here at Crawford Park on the Great Lawn.
Thank you for your work on that. I know it's been substantial.
Well, happy to help.
It starts at 10, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then we can regroup next week,
Mm-hmm.
and I can dive in with you.
Okay, great.
Great, thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Comments on non-agenda items? Does anybody have a comment on a non-agenda item? Anybody on Facebook?
No.
Okay. Moving on to resolutions. First resolution is to award a contract to conduct repairs to the Crawford Park Picnic Pavilion. Debbie, you want to tell us what this is about, please?
Yes, this has been a capital project that has been discussed for a number of years. It's in the, this year's capital budget as well. The much-loved picnic pavilion floors need a redo. I actually, Ruby, can you help us with a picture or two? Thank you. So we have, it's absolutely imperative that we address the kitchen floor immediately, but the bathroom floor also is in need of repairs, as is the main picnic pavilion and the pavers area around the building. So we put it out to bid. We have 3 quotes as per our procurement policy, and the lowest responsible bidder is MTS, which is a contractor with whom the town of Rye has worked on multiple occasions. So we know that they absolutely deliver what they say they're going to do on time, on budget. So that's my recommendation. It's in the attachment. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, the specifications are in the attachment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking for. It's gonna be an epoxy floor because that'll last a lot longer. Okay.
Any other comments?
All the bathrooms and the kitchen will all be
The epoxy, yes. That's,
Any other comments or questions? Yeah, this is, as Debbie mentioned, we've been talking about doing this for a couple of years, putting it in the capital budget. And we're finally getting to do it. And, maintenance is really important. It's obviously not in the condition of Newark Airport, but we want to keep ahead of it, and so we are. May I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer? Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. Next resolution is for the town to enter into contracts with 2 companies, Dot Designing and Aces Custom Apparel, for the procurement of uniforms and clothing for our staff. Debbie, why do we have 2?
We have 2 because we had a highly detailed RFP, item by item, and there were 2 companies that had the best prices. So some items are going to be ordered from one of the companies, some from the other, depending upon who offers us the best price. And several of the references that we checked had 2 in case one couldn't come through. I've had that experience in the past with firms that won the RFP and then couldn't deliver. So now we have options.
Great.
Questions, comments? Motion and a second, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Hope, call the roll.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer? Councilperson Jaffe?
Yep.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. And we have two tax cert cases. First one is 432 West William in Portchester.
Good evening. I'm just going to pull up the refund analysis. A second. Thank you, Charlie, for doing that, by the way. Yeah, the first one is a relatively small tax cert case. The refund on West William Street, the refunds to the school, the town is minimal. The village, the total refund is $1,900. The school refund is about $3,900, and the school's been apprised of this. We've discussed this over multiple meetings, and I've alerted the district that this case would be on, as well as the next one.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
No.
Motion and a second, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer?
Yes.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yep.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes.
The next case is,
I have to call the case.
oh, I'm sorry.
See, I'm the supervisor. I call the roll. I call the
I forgot who I
agenda.
was.
Okay. Our next item is a tax cert case for 17-25 North Main Street in Portchester. Jeffrey?
This is a completely commercial building, and the refunds here are a little bit larger. The school refund is about $33,000, and the village refund is about $15,000. There have been multiple years negotiated to be discontinued as well, so we believe we've reached a very good settlement on this, notwithstanding the relative size of these refunds relative to the prior case. But
Yeah, this covers a 5-year period.
Yeah.
Only one of which is requiring a refund, the 2020. All the others have been discontinued.
that's correct. I would recommend approval of this settlement.
Yeah. And as Jeff says, we go over all of these as our periodic tax cert conferences with all the villages and school districts, and they are well aware of the situation before we get to this point. So, questions or comments? Motion in a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer?
Yes.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. Next is a resolution to change the regular monthly meeting date from June 19th to June 12th. Simple reason is June 19th is a holiday, officially Juneteenth. The offices will be closed. So the motion is, the solution is to change it to June the 12th.
Okay.
May I have a motion?
So
This is-
moved.
Second.
I was gonna say if there are any questions. Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That completes our resolutions. Reports? Do we have any reports today? Crawford Park, I know that Candy is not here this evening.
The report is in the agenda, but we also have the slides if you'd like to go through them.
Well, if you'd like to.
You wanna?
Sure, why not? I'm confused though, nobody's sitting in their right spots.
I know, we're all up in spaces.
I'm in my, I am, and Gary, we're in our right spots.
Confused too.
Actually, we don't know, I
He's
mean,
not his
these are
father.
just the utilization reports. I don't think it's necessary unless everybody wants to go through them. No?
No.
They're all filed.
There are a couple of items here that are worth a discussion.
I don't think we need,
The upcoming events.
I think the important thing is the upcoming events.
Because
Well, this I think is this is relevant conversation we had last month, which if you can, go ahead, take it from here.
Okay, last month we were lower for this year in the amount of events. We are one behind last year now. If you look at this month, which we don't have yet, and you'll see next year, but if you go into the office, the ladies' office over here, on Saturday and Sunday this month, we have over 21 events, paid events, just this month alone. Graduations for next month are taking up 2 weeks, 2 straight weeks. So this just shows you that, all right, the winter might have been a little slow, but we're going to steam right past this. As far as anything else, anybody, right, we have a save the date for the EcoFest. We have, yes, the Great Lawn Series. As you can see, back again is Jam Show. Bill Paris will do twice again. Funk Salsa comes back. And this year we have the Russ Davis Band. Don't know, I can't tell you much about them. I don't know much about them, but we'll find out.
Are they from you, Tommy?
No,
No?
the jam show's from me.
Yeah.
And I just gave Vic another band to give a call to, who are very good.
Okay, and our movies, again, will be late, so when the sun is going down at 8 o'clock or 7:30 or 7, so the children aren't here waiting for the movie to start 9:30. We're doing them late, including our Halloween event, the Addams Family.
That'll go with Trunk or Treat?
Yep. Yes, it will.
And I'd like to point out once again that the Great Lawn Series is free summer series.
Yes.
Unlike
Yes.
our events in the mansion where we charge.
Right. Yes, this is free. We reached out to Blindbrook. Their athletic director has left.
Yes.
Yes, so we're
Kim?
working with the new athletic director about our cross-country event.
Okay.
That was very successful last
It was
year.
great. It
That
really
was a
was.
fantastic event.
Yes.
I'm curious, are the movie nights rain or and then the music nights as well, are they rain or shine? since they're
Yes.
closed?
We try. Just for, Gary had brought up to me about art and artists. I will be speaking with a young woman tomorrow about displaying art and different artists here in the mansion consistently, with changeover consistently, so that the artists in our town will be displayed. I think that's about all I have.
I just want to reinforce that. I think this has become a really, really good venue for art. And anybody seeing this, if they are artists or know artists who would like to display art here in the mansion, we would certainly welcome that. I think that a community providing a venue for local artists to show their work is a very valuable cultural asset. So, thanks, Vic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
Now
think the next slide, if we had it, was the Pride celebration. Is that correct? And then maybe we can call Ruby in here to give us, after that, a quick run-through of Juneteenth. So, not Crawford, but going to Rytown Park on Saturday, May 31st. We're a day early, starting at 3. Once again, working with Pride and Amanda Timchak and her amazing team to have a joyous Pride celebration at Rytown Park. It's going to have a small promenade after an art festival and Pride Fair, so that'll go from 3 to 6 with the flag raising and some speeches and song and delight at 6 p.m. Then, as I said, the short promenade to North Beach. That'll go off at 6:30. Then there's a free beach party, pizza and soft drinks and music, and that'll go from 7:30 or 7 o'clock till dusk. So very family friendly. Every year, it gets better. It gets more populated. People come up to us afterwards and thank us for being so welcoming and wonderful and having this type of joyous celebration in the town. So thrilled that we can do it again. Hoping everyone can come and join us.
Thank you, Pam.
And then I don't know if we have a thing for Juneteenth, but if you or Ruby want to talk to
We do,
it.
but before we move on to that, the
Okay.
very same day, May 31st, we have the community conversation at Town Park in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. For anyone who wants to talk about Town Park, see what's going on, come on down to the pavilions at 10 o'clock at that very same morning.
Thank you, Deb.
Juneteenth.
So this is an event that we do every year, and I think, at least the years that I've attended, it's always involved cleaning the headstones to just help, honor those who are buried in the cemetery. And this is at the African American Cemetery, which is adjacent to the Greenwood Union Cemetery, which we actually just heard about. But this year, we're also incorporating the results of the study that we were awarded through the National Park Service grant that identified the unmarked graves at the African American Cemetery. And one of the consultants that worked on that report is going to come back and help Vic and his staff mark out where those unmarked graves are. And then we're going to use some wood markers to mark out where each of those spots are to help further honor those who are buried there who don't have a headstone. So it's keeping the old, the previous project and incorporating some of the new. So that's on June 21st, which is after Juneteenth, but it's the weekend after.
And just let me say, as far as the African American Cemetery, which is owned by the town of Rye, we have applied for a grant to perform the work that the study suggested. And that grant is still outstanding. It's for about $400,000, if I recall. Unfortunately, with
Is
the
that federal or state?
federal.
Good luck with that.
No, you're not letting me finish, Randy. I said, unfortunately, with the current climate regarding the federal government's view of such projects, we do not have a great hope of getting that grant. Hope springs eternal, but I would have said a year ago, probably get 60% chance of getting it because it's in furtherance of a study that they commissioned. Today, I would say that the chance of getting that grant are maybe 1%. But as I say, we hope. But nevertheless, we will do what we can on the local end to further the projects. And the celebration of Juneteenth will obviously continue, and we've invited virtually all of our elected officials, the representatives on the county and state level, the federal level, and our local councils, Rybrook, Portchester, Mamaroneck, to join us. So we're hoping for a large gathering and probably some speechifying if elected officials get together. That's what usually happens, but we shall see. But it'll be a very, very joyous event. So thank you, Ruby. Ruby is leading the committee that's organizing this along with Vic. And
our lovely
and
intern, Charlotte? I don't know what we call her. But
Charlotte Lorraine from the city of Rye, who popped up here a couple of years ago, unannounced, and said, when we had this on the agenda, she saw it on the agenda, had her mother drive her here, and she has been involved ever since. And I'm happy to announce she just got accepted to Columbia University.
oh, that's fantastic. quick question, Ruby or Vic, about the markers. You say you're putting down wood markers. Can you describe what those are going to be like? Or Debbie, as for that matter, someone, just so everyone knows.
The heritage consultants will be using pin flags and also marking out the locations with spray paint on the grass itself and providing our assessor, Charlie Zaba, with a GPS file so that those items, should the pin flags go by the wayside, should the grass get cut, we will still have the ability to identify each place. And as a temporary measure until we find out if we get the ground, we'll be using 4x4 wood cut into several foot pieces, and those will be inserted into the earth at the right location, so that for the time being, as a temporary measure, the graves will be marked with a simple 4x4 wood.
Okay. At some point, it might be lovely to put, just, a marker or a monument to the unknown interred, just in general, because we don't know who they are.
It wouldn't be bad to do it by the kiosks.
Yeah.
Do something by the kiosks.
Our grant application, that $400,000, among the several projects that are part of that project are actually marble markers that are numbered. And then also an educational sign at the kiosk in the front of the cemetery, as well as rebuilding the dry stack walls that have fallen into disrepair.
That's, if anybody wants it, they can just ask us for it, to get a copy of the grant application.
Oh, certainly.
That's public information. I'm happy to provide it. They can also get a copy of the study that the consultant did, if they want.
I'm pretty sure that's already up on our website.
It's on the,
Yeah.
It's only 800 pages.
800 pages.
Was it like 60 graves that were unmarked?
Oh, no,
think it was
160.
160.
It's 160.
160, okay. I knew it was 60.
That they found.
Yeah.
And I would say we worked with former town councilman William Villanova on that portion of the project. His company, Frank E. Campbell, is ready to help us source and install those grave markers as soon as we have the $50,000 necessary for it.
Further questions? Ruby, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruby.
Finance, I know I know Dave is on vacation this week. His receivables and in-rem receivable charts are appended to the agenda. Is Carla on? A report from the receiver of taxes.
Carla gave me something to read.
Okay.
Okay, the 2005.
From the clerk, former receiver of taxes?
Yes.
Hope Vespia.
Okay, the 2005 county and town taxes, which were due by April 30th. Some have not been paid, so therefore, letters were mailed out yesterday with the 2% penalty. Carl is encouraging everyone to try to pay them by the end of this month, because there will be additional penalties in June. And if there are any questions, please call the tax office at 939-3558. And the fastest and quickest way to pay your tax bill is to go onto the website. The fee is only $1.50 for, I can't read this, I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
Yeah, the
ACH.
ACH check, right. The town of Rye will no longer, this is so important for everyone to know, who still has envelopes left over from last year, because this has been happening. It's very important that the town, for the taxpayers to know that we are no longer using the lockbox in New Jersey. So please do not send payments there.
all payments should go directly
directly to
to the
220,
receiver's
right.
office at 222 Grace Church
Or
Street.
in the front box, and if you leave your tax bill payment in the box, you will get a receipt. And also, we encourage everyone to deposit the whole check, send the whole tax bill, because that's what we use to keep a copy for us, and to send a receipt for the taxpayer.
And once again, we urge everybody, if your mortgage company is not paying your tax out of escrow and you're paying it yourself, please consider using electronic payment. It's faster, you get immediate receipt, costs a grand total of $1.50, and you don't have to worry about it. It's there automatically. It's the easiest and fastest way to do it.
And also, if your mortgage is satisfied, please don't wait for the bank to notify the tax office. Please notify them immediately so that you could get the bills in the future to you, because you'll be responsible for them.
Right. I can't reiterate strongly enough what Hope just said about not sending it to the lockbox. If it gets sent to the lockbox, the company in New Jersey may hold it and not send it to us immediately, because it no longer gets deposited there. Secondly, the post office may deem it undeliverable and send it back to the taxpayer, which will take several days at least, and will cause the taxpayer to be delinquent in the taxes and get charged interest, and we don't want that.
I'd like to add to that, please, Gary. It's really important to save the envelope with the postmark date on it, because if the postmark date is on time, we may be able to avoid those penalties.
Correct.
Is there any way we can do an official alert to residents about this, just summarizing all of this information?
Absolutely.
I mean, the receiver has sent out notification with the tax bills. This is not like people should know about it.
Mm-hmm.
People are sending it in regardless of the notice that the receiver sent with the tax bill.
We're also finding out that whoever set up a payment with the ACH checks, it was set up going to New Jersey. So please contact your bank to notify them that it no longer goes to New Jersey, it goes to Portchester, 222 Grace Church Street. And this year, this coming June, Carl is going to put a flyer in also in big letters so that they'll know, please do not send it to New Jersey.
That feels
In
like a
case-
good flash for the homepage.
In case anybody's wondering why we did this, first of all, the lockbox cost us money, and it was no longer efficient because we found that some of the payments going to the lockbox were not getting
Process.
credited in time. And if there was an error, for example, if you didn't send your full bill, your full stub, they wouldn't credit it, and it would take them sometimes weeks to send it back to the taxpayer. So we had conferences about this and determined that handling all tax payments in-house would be more efficient and also less expensive for the town to do. So that's why we're doing it.
It really went well.
Yeah.
Everything, the checks were, received, deposited right away and posted, so it worked out.
Yeah. For those that sent them to the town.
Right.
That's fine. Okay,
Yes, yeah.
enough of that. Any other comments on tax collection? If not, Jeff, attorney report?
Yes, I wanted to take this opportunity to update the council on litigation I've been working on. I haven't said much publicly about it, simply because there hasn't been that much action, but I want to update you on the in-rems. So back in January, I brought suit against 7 property owners who owed more than 2 years in back taxes. And the overall amount at that time, and it's more now, was over $500,000, maybe up to $600,000 in arrearages. And over time, during the pendency of this litigation, well, we began with 7 properties. And since I brought the case, it's been several properties have paid off 3, I think, have paid off, and 1 has declared bankruptcy, and 1 is in contract to be sold, and another one hasn't responded at all. And one of them, which is a property I think the town is very familiar with, it's the property that the Knights of Columbus own, is being represented by an attorney, and this could result in some more protracted litigation or negotiations. I don't want to say too much about it because it's litigation. It's really not appropriate for public to, public forum to talk about the specifics of it, but I wanted to update you on it. A critical date is coming up on Monday in court. This is technically the redemption date that I set way back in January, sort of the drop dead date for taxpayers to pay. We'll see what happens, see who shows up in court. Most of the time, it's not a draconian moment, but it is a moment where I technically could move for the court to issue a judgment of foreclosure. I'm not inclined to do that so quickly, but I will have the power after Monday to do that. There's a couple of property owners that have contacted me and said, please don't foreclose yet, we're in the process of selling our property, or the bankruptcy court has indicated to me that the property owner has declared bankruptcy. And so I'm working through all of this, and I'll keep you posted on the details of the litigation in executive session when we get to it. But I did want to update you that we're making progress on that front, but this particular case is not over yet. So, if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them in executive session.
So basically, Jeff, there are 4 properties at issue right now. One of which may be in contract, one of which you've gotten no answer or contact whatsoever, one of which has filed an answer and is in court, and one of which has declared bankruptcy. Is that correct?
I think that's basically correct. There's one property that's in contract. I just got the contract today. That's the Landmark Square apartment. So that'll be off the table within a matter of weeks. But yes.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Town clerk, I know your report is submitted. I know you want to talk about your favorite event.
I'm just going to remind everyone on June 14th from 10 to 1, the county mobile shredder will be coming to the parking lot at 222 Grace Church Street. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's about it.
Can we do a SMS about that? A text message?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be
and
fun.
Hope and I discussed it earlier today.
Cool. I love that.
All right, anything from the council? Comments, questions?
Just come out on Memorial Day, come out and celebrate at the Monument of Westchester on Regent Street. Right, we're having that, was it 11 o'clock, I think, over there?
Yes.
11 o'clock.
Is that the one at Regent Street or at Hawthorne?
No, Regent.
No,
Regent?
Regent in Westchester, yes.
Because we have 2 parades. One starts at Hawthorne and one starts at
Columbus Day starts at Hawthorne.
Yeah, Columbus Day starts at Hawthorne. But, yeah, come out and show
Everybody
your
loves a
support.
parade.
Well, come and show your support for those that served and didn't make it back.
All right, if nothing else, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm scooting to Geneseo. I'll see you guys.